Hello guys, welcome to the next lecture on the multivariate distribution. Today I will explain you how you can solve the variance, covariance and the correlation problems related to the GATE and the IIT JAM. I will explain all these questions with the help of the shortcut tricks. Myself Dr. Harish, you can simply follow my YouTube channel where you can find the playlist named as the GATE statistics and you can see the various PY questions related to the multivariate, Markov chains, multivariate normal distributions and many more available in this playlist. One more playlist named as the PY question of the IIT JAM. You can find this and you will get the solutions related to the mathematics and statistics. So whenever we are talking about the covariance, you always use this formula. Make sure whenever x and y are independent to each other, if it is given to you, then it means the expected value of xy is expected value of x into xy. It also implies the covariance is my 0. But make sure the converse is not always true. Whenever you are trying to find the correlation, then you can use this formula. Also, when you find the covariance between the two same value, then it is nothing but my variance of the x. You can also find the covariance between the linear properties, like first you can multiply this by here. So a into c, covariance of xx, then first into second, a into d, covariance of x into y, and here. The last property is you can always know covariance of x comma y is same as covariance of y comma x. Whenever you have a conditional distribution given to you, as I told you in my last lecture of the multivariate distribution, if it follows a certain distribution, like it may have a binomial, it may have a Poisson distribution, it may follow exponential distribution and so on, then because this is the conditional distribution y, so you already know what is the mean of the y, what is the variance of the y. But how you can find the mean of the x, how you can find the mean of xy and so on. The first very important property for you is you can find the expected value of the first quantity is expected value of this one. You can also find the variance of this is expected value variance of this, variance of expected value. And the last concept is variance expected value of the xy is expected value of this. I can replace y by here. Remember, it doesn't means y is equal to expected value of this. It doesn't means that. Whenever you are working on this multinormal distribution, then make sure each of the xi's follows the binomial distribution with, if x1 is there, then the probability is p1, x2 is there, then the probability is p2 and here. And the conditional distribution also follows the binomial distribution with the relation here. Once you know this is a binomial distribution, then you can easily find the mean. This is the n into p, variance is n into p into q, and the covariance is minus n pi into p. Now based on these simple tricks, I can solve you the PY question in a very simple manner. Remember all my shortcut tricks. You can join with me, you can join through my WhatsApp group, you can scan and join here. So let's start with this first question. If xi's are my random variables such that this is case and here. Now since answer is dependent on the n, as I told you in my previous several video, you can choose n as per your own convenience. So I choose n is my 1. So this value will be my x2. So what is the variance of x1 minus x2? That is the variance of x1, variance of x2 minus 2 times covariance of x1 comma x2. What is the variance of x1 is 4, variance of x2 is 4, this is my 3. The answer is 2. So if you look for the option, here n is my 1, it is not 2, this is 1, it is not 2, this is 2, this is 2. Now 2 options are correct, so I can choose n is my 2. If n is my 2, then the variance of this is x1, this value will be my 4, x3 minus x4. So if I open this bracket, it's a variance of x1, 4, variance of x2, variance of x3, variance of x4. Covariance between x1 and x2 minus 2 times covariance of x1, x2. Covariance of x1, x3, covariance of x1, x4, then 2 times x minus x2 and plus x3, so minus 2 times x3, then x4 and x3 and x4. Now you can cross it. This value will be cancelled out. This value will be cancelled out. So it's a 16 minus 12. That's a 4 is my. So when I take n is my 2, this is my 4, this is 3. So this option is cancelled. Only left option is my B is the right answer. Look at this another one. Theta is lies between 0 and 1. Your target is to find the correlation. It means your target is to find the covariance divided by variance of x1, variance of xn. This is my xn, this is my x1. Now if you look about the relation of this, x3 is my theta times x2. Fine, I can return this in terms of the x1 is, I can substitute x2, it will be my here. So if you closely look about that, this value 2 is basically a difference between 3 and 1. So I can write the xn. This is in terms of x1 is difference is n minus 1. What is the covariance between x1 and xn? Because this is the constant value, I can take is outside. Is the covariance of x1 is variance of x1. Can you find the variance of xn? Variance of this, I can take this value as a common. It's a twice of this, because we all know what is the variance of ax is a square variance of x. Fine. Now I can substitute this value here. So the numerator value will be my this, denominator is variance of x1 into twice variance of this. So clearly say this value will be cancelled out. It's a square, it will be also cancelled out. The answer is 1 is the right answer. Find the correlation between them. So firstly find the covariance between u and v. So covariance u is my x1 plus x2, and this is my x1 plus x2 up to x8. Again a very simple. If I use this approach, it's a variance of x1. Variance of x1 is sigma square. Next one is x1 and x2. You can see they are given to you as independent. So once they are independent, what is the covariance between them? It's a 0. So x1, x2 0, and similarly rest of them 0. x2, x1 0. This value will be my sigma square. So the answer is 2 sigma square. Now I can find the variance of the u. Variance of u is my variance of x1, variance of x2 plus covariance is my 0. Similarly, I can find the variance of the v, because v is my here. Again they are independent, so it is my sigma square plus sigma square up to sigma square. The answer is 8 sigma square. Now I can substitute the value in the correlation. That's the covariance divided by variance, root of the variance. So it will be my 2 sigma square. It's a 4 sigma square. Answer is 1 by 2 is the right answer. x1, x2 and x3 are independent. It means the covariance are my 0. Which of the following pairs are my independent? Very simple. You can see there is a common between x2 and x2. It is not independent. There is a common between x1 and x2. It's a not independent. There is no common between this pair and this pair. So yes, this is independent. There is a common between x2 and x2. It is not independent. Look at this another one. xi follows the uniform distribution where theta is my greater than 0. I can assume theta is my 1. N is my greater than or equal to 2. I can assume n is my 2. So that my calculation becomes a simple. This is the gate examination. So xi follows my uniform distribution of 0, 1. x1 is my minimum. xn is my maximum. Then to find the covariance between them. Okay. First tip for you. So we all know when you have a uniform distribution of the 0, 1, then xn is my complete sufficient estimator of 0, 1. Fine. Then by using the Basu theorem, you know what is the Basu theorem suggested you? Bassi theorem suggests you the minimum over maximum and x of n are always independent. So once they are independent, what is the meaning of that? Covariance between them is my 0. Fine. And you can see they are asking about the same thing. So what is the meaning of that? The covariance is my 0. Fine. There is one more way. We all know if xi's follow the uniform distribution, then x1 will follows the beta distribution with the parameter 1, n, and xn, that is the maximum of them, will follows the n, 1. Then we can find the expected values of this. So if x follows, remember, if x follows the beta distribution of a, b, then what is the expected value of the x? A over a plus b. So what is the expected value of the x1? 1 over 3. Expected value of the xn is 2 over 3. Then you can apply expected value of this here minus expected value of the individuals. Fine. So you can substitute here, again you will get this answer as a 0. But you all, because you are the statistics student, you have studied about the Bassi theorem as well. Okay, xi's again are independent is given to you. Find the covariance between this. So I call this is my x, this is my y. Correlation. So firstly find the covariance. It's a 1 to 98 and 3 to 98. Instead of writing this as x1, x2 up to here, I can make them as a pair. x1 plus x2 and the rest start from the 3. Fine. Then I can make this as from 3 to 98 and the rest is 99 and 100. Fine. Now you can see, if I make the first pair of x1 with this here, there is no x1 and they are independent. So what does it mean? xi, xj is my 0 whenever I is not equal to j. For the first pair is a 0. Similarly, when you take x2, there is no x2 appear, it's a 0. When I take this, it will be here, it's a variance of this value. Fine. And the rest of the pairs are my 0. So what is the variance of this? Each number has a 1. So how many times it appear as a 1? 96 times. 98 minus 3 plus 1. Then find the variance of the x, find the variance of the y. So what is the variance of this? Because again they are independent, so you have to add them. It's a 98. Again, what is that? How many pairs are there? 98. Again you can see this is 100 minus 3 plus 1 if it is not start from the 1. So what is the correlation? It's a covariance divided by variance. It is 96 divided by 98 is my right answer. Okay, so bivariate normal distribution, your target is to find this value. Fine. What is the expected value of the y? I can try to convert this into the z. So I have to subtract by mean. So what is the mean of this? Expected value of the mean is my 0 plus 0. So if I subtract something divided by whatever the variance of this, the answer will always be 0. So what is the answer of this? It's a 0.5 is the right answer. But if you want to find the variance of y, what is the variance of y? Variance of x plus variance of y plus 2 times covariance of x1, x2, and the correlation is given to you my here. So x1, x2 divided by variance. So this is my 2 plus 2 row, and but this is a 0.5 is the right answer. Okay, now look at this next one. Your target is to find the covariance between x and y. So your target is to find exy, ex, ey. Fine. So I can firstly make this diagram. This is here, x is 1, so this is my pair. Okay, find expected value of the x. So it means firstly we need to find the marginal of x. So what is the marginal of x? Collection of all those over the y. So I can take the limit of this. This is y is equal to x. This is x is equal to 1. So 0 to x. So what is that? It's a y square is a 4x cube. What is the marginal of y? It's a 8y is outside. It's a x into dx. So what is the limit of this is y to 1. So it's a 4y 1 minus y square. Can you find the mean of the x? It is 4 is outside, x into x cube over 0 to 1. So what is the answer of this? X4 is a 4 over 5. What is the mean of the y? I can multiply this by y. It's a y square. So integration of the y square is y cube by 3. It's a y4. It's a 1 over 5. So 15 is the LCM. It's a 8 over 15. So this value is over. This value is there. Now expected value of x into y. So that means it's a double integration xy into 8xy. So 8 is outside. So it's x square y square. Fine. So limits are from 0 to x, 0 to 1. So I can take x square as a common. So what is the integration of the x square? Y square will be y cube over 3 from 0 to x. It's a x raised to power 5 over 3 into dx. So what is the answer of this? 8 over 3 is outside. It is a 1 over 6. So 4, 2, 3, 2, 4. So it's a 4 over 9. Now I can substitute this value here. It's a 4 over 9 minus x into y. So it's a 32 divided by 75. So I can take the LCM. It's a 225. 225 is the LCM. This minus this is my 4. So again I can cancel out 25. So 4 over 25 is the right answer. Okay, so GATE 2022 is a Poisson process and your target is to find the covariance. Very simple. Look at these shortcut tricks. If you compare them, can you find the value of lambda? Lambda is my 4. Your target is to find the covariance. Lambda times minimum of T1 and T2. Covariance we have to find as a 5, 3. So what is the right answer of this? 12 is my right answer. You can see that how many seconds you are needed to solve the problem. Maximum 15 seconds. You can remember this formula. If they are asked you find the autocorrelation, you can use this. Variance, you can use this. You need a 15 seconds to like and comment the video as well. So kindly like and share also. Okay, look at this one. The correlation coefficient you need to find. Very simple. Firstly, I can modify this PDF. I can write this function here because y is my x. So it's a plus x into here. Clear? Now clearly say it's a plus, it's a minus x. Now what does it mean? This function is totally dependent on the x. So it means x follows exponential distribution with the parameter 1. This function y is dependent on the x. So again it follows my exponential distribution with the mean is my 1, but you know what is that? This is my location parameter. Fine. So the location parameter is my x. Then your target is to find the correlation between. So your target is to find the covariance divided by variance of x, variance of y. Fine. So firstly I can find the variance of y. So firstly, because in the numerator side it's a xy minus ex ey divided by here. So firstly I can find the e of xy. If you remember, I told you the earlier tips, x into y I can return I of this. Fine. So what is that value of this? Expected value. What is the mean of this? Expected value of the exponential function is 1 and it is my x. So it is x plus expected value of x square. So x follows the exponential distribution here. What is the variance? Variance is, I can compute this value from the variance. So this value is my 3. So the numerator is my 3. What is the expected value of the x? 1. Can you find the expected value of the y? Okay, I can find the expected value of the y also. How you can find the expected value of this? Is the expected value of y condition x. So what is the expected value of this is x plus 1. So expected value of this is 1 plus 1, 2. Now variance of the x is exponential distribution, variance is 1. How you can find the variance of the y? So I can clear this screen. So variance of the y is expected value of variance of y condition x plus variance of expected value y condition x. Make sure whenever you are talking about this outside the expected mean, for that this parameter is my constant. However, for inside the variance and this is my variable. So if I found this value, what is the variance of this? This is my expected value is my 1, this is my 0. For the inside case, this is my constant. For outside, this is my variable. So this is my 0 plus variable of what is the expected value of this is, and what is the expected value of the constant is x. So what is the expected value of the 1 is 1. Variance of 1 is 0. What is the variance of this is 1. So it is my 2. So what is the right answer of this? That's over 3 minus 2, 1 over root 2. 1 by root 2 is the right answer. Always remember, whatever the variation parameter is here, for the inside the parameters, it is my constant. For the outside them, it is my variable. Okay, look at this another one. Okay, this is a joint density function given to you. Do you remember which distribution here whose domain varies from like this way? It's a Poisson distribution. So I can think about this function here. So it is a m factorial. It is a n factorial. For the Poisson distribution, we need this parameter. Fine. So if I write this numerator part into the two component, so clearly say lambda is my 1 in this case. So what does it mean? X follows my Poisson distribution with the parameter 1. Y follows my Poisson distribution 1. And you can see none of them is interrelated to each other. It means they are my independent as well. The first case is the marginal distribution of x follows the Poisson distribution, correct? But the mean is 2. But here is mean is 1. X and y are independent. The covariance between them, x, what is the covariance between them? So covariance of x and x is variance of x plus covariance of xy. Because they are independent, its variance is my 0. So what is the variance of the x? 1 is the right answer. Probability of, okay, so we all know y follows the Poisson distribution. So this is my answer. Then what is the y of n plus 1? I can written this n plus 1 factorial is n plus 1 into n factorial. So if you divide them, you can see this is the correct option. So the B, C and D are my right answers. Okay, look at that. X follows my uniform distribution of 0, 1. Y is my here correlation. So it means you need to find the covariance over variance. So covariance is E of xy. Y is my x square, so it's a x cube minus E of x, E of y. Y is my x square divided by variance of x, variance of y. Y I can written as a x square. So I need to find this value. So first of all, what is the expected value of the x? If x follows this, then this is my expected value. So a plus b over 2. What is the expected value of the x square? Fine. So I can use either by using the variance, but because it's a uniform distribution, so you all know what is the expected value of the xn. It is 1 over here if it follows the 0 to 1. Otherwise you can find like here PDF is 1 over 1 dx. Fine. So it is my 1 over 3. I need to find the E of x square, x cube. It is 1 over 4. Variance of x, if it is my variance, what is the formula for the variance is b minus a whole square over 12. Fine. Then variance of the x square, I can return this number is e of x4 minus e of x square of square. So it is 1 over 5 minus 1 over x square will be 3, is a 9. So it is 4 over 45. So I can substitute all the values here. X cube is 1 by 4 minus ex into is a 1 over 6 divided by variance of x is 1 over 12 and it's a 4. So it is 1 over 3 into 45. So I can return as 3, 9 into 5. So this value will be my 1 over 3 root 50. Fine. So 12 is the LCM. It is my 3 minus 1, 2, 3 by root 50. So it is a 6. It is my 2. So rho is my root 15 divided by 2. Now your target is 48 into rho square 15 divided by 4. But it's kindly check the calculation. Where is the error? This is 3 minus 1 is 1. So it is 3 by 4. It is 4. So 4 square is 16. 16 into 3. 3 into 15 is 45 is the right answer. Okay, look at this another one. X. Okay. Do you know which distribution will work over the interval? It's a uniform distribution. So it means y, which is dependent on the x, it follows the uniform distribution over the range 1 minus of here. Find x square plus 2 times root of pi. And if you look about here, what is that? This is my normal distribution with the parameter 1 and variance. How you can find the variance? Okay, I can tell you. What is the distribution of this? 1 over b minus a. So 1 over root pi. So I can return multiply by root 2. Fine. E raised to power. Fine. Now for the binomial, for the normal distribution, I have to return this. So what will be the sigma? So that it becomes my here. Sigma should be half. So it means variance is my half. Clear? Now once you know both the distribution, then the rest of the procedure is over. Your target is to find the covariance. It means e of xy, e of x, e of y. So e of x we already computed. This is a 1. How you can find the e of y? So e of y is basically e of y condition x. So what is that? What is the y condition x? What is the mean of the uniform distribution? A plus b over 2. So it's a x square. What is the expected value of the x square? I can obtain from the variance. So it is a variance plus 1 square. It is my 3 over 2. Fine. Now I need to find the expected value of x into y. So again, how you can do that? Expected value. Remember, my all the shortcut tricks which is available in the first slides are useful for you. What is the expected value of this? Is x square. So it is a x cube. Fine. Now how you can find the expected value of the x cube? But remember, the center is not 0. So if we all know, if my mean is here, then you can find the third is 1 into 3 into sigma square. Fine. So I can do the same thing, but the center is my 1, so I can shift it toward the 1. So 3 into sigma square. Fine. So what is the answer is 3, 5 over 2. If the center is 0, then it is fine. If the center is mu, then it will be mu plus here. Then now substitute all the values. In this case, it is my 5 over 2. So what is that? 5 minus 3 over 2. Answer is 1 is my right answer. Look at this another one. X1 and X2 are here. Then correlation between. So your target is to find the covariance of Y1 and Y2 divided by variance of Y1, variance of Y2. Okay, well, firstly you can find the variance of Y1. Y1 is X1. Sigmum is either the plus 1 or minus 1. Fine. So then what is the variance of the y1? If it is a plus 1, then again if it is a minus 1, so it will be here variance of x1, so it will be variance of x1 will be 1. Similarly, y2 will be my x2, sigmum of this is my plus minus 1, so the variance of y2 is also plus minus 1. Can you find the expected value of x1 of the y1? Sorry, because again it's a plus minus 1 and expected value of the x1 is 0, so it is my 0, which is same of y2. Then so the denominator is my 1, this is my 1, this is my expected value of y1 into y2 minus expected value of the y1 is 0 here. The only thing we need to find the y1 into y2. So what is the y1 into y2? This will be x1 into x2 into sigmum. So sigmum I can written this is x2 over x1, sorry, x2 over x2, and this is x1 over x1. So y1 and y2 will be my here. Fine. Now they are given to as independent. If I return this value as here, it will be, if x1 and x2 are independent, so the modulus of this is also independent, this one. Fine. Now how you can find this value? So let me give you the tips. If x follows my normal distribution with a mean 0, variance sigma square, then expected value of this modulus value is my 2 over pi into sigma. Fine. And if you want to find the variance also, let me tell you the variance formula also. It is sigma 1 minus 2 over pi. Now you can see I can substitute this value here. What is this? Is a sigma is my 1, so it's a 2 over pi for this, 2 over pi for this. So that means 2 over pi. Now that's over. I can substitute this value here. So this value given as a alpha. Fine. So this value is my 2 over pi. So what is the pi into alpha? 2 is my right. Okay, look at this another one. So it's a multinomial distribution. So remember, I recall you, whenever you have a multinomial distribution, you have to follow this process. Okay, so there are the two variables. Firstly, x, y. It follows the binomial distribution. What is the n is? 7. Probability. What is the probability of the x? 0.6. Probability of the y is 0.2. Then you can see the same procedure here. Then your target is to find the conditional probability. That's again a very simple. What is the conditional probability? It again follows the binomial distribution with the parameter n minus y. What is that? The whatever the value of this. In this case, n is my 7, y is my 3. So 7 minus 3 is 4. Probability will be pi. Pi is the probability of this first xi. Pj is the probability of this 1 minus. So what is the probability of the y? 0.2. What is the probability of the pj? That is x is 0.6. So what is that? It follows binomial distribution. It's a 0.4. It's a 1 over 2. Now your target is to find the mean. So what is the mean of the binomial distribution? N into p. So 4. That is 4 into half is my 2 is the right answer. How many seconds you are needed to solve this problem? Maximum 10 to 15 seconds. I hope you can like and comment on the video as well. Okay, look at this another one. Again it's a joint and again it's a multinomial. So you have the three variable x, y, z. So x follows the binomial distribution. Parameter 10. Probability of the x is 0.2. Again it's a binomial. Probability is y is my 0.3 and z is my 0.4. Fine. Then your target is to find the variance of y plus z. So variance of y, variance of z, 2 times covariance of y into z. How you can find the covariance between y comma z? It is minus n into pi pj. Pi is the probability of the first component, pj is the coefficient probability of the second component. What is the probability of the y is 3, probability of this is 4. So it is my 120 over 100. So what is the variance of y? Once is a binomial distribution, so variance of y is npq. So for the y, it is my 10, 3 and 7. So 210 over this. Probability of the z, n, p and q is my 6.6. So it's a 240 divided by 100 plus 2 times of this minus 240 over 100. So the right answer is 2.10 is the right answer. How many seconds you are needed? A maximum 15 seconds you are needed if you remember my shortcut tricks. Okay, look at this another one. Again, it's a multinomial distribution, fine. But in that case, such kind of the probabilities are not given, fine. So very simple, this I can multiply by 12 factorial because maximum value is my 12, and this value I can written as, I have to find the value x1, I have to find x2, and then the remaining is 12 minus x1 minus x2. So definitely whatever I have written here, the same value should be subtracted. So since they are the 3 variable, I have to use the probability as 1 over 3. Make sure the sum of the each probability should be 1. You can see 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.1. The sum should be 1. So what does it obtain? It follows, x1 follows the binomial distribution with the n is here, probability this. x2 follows the binomial distribution, n here. Then what is the mean of the xi's? It is n into p, 4. So this is 4 plus 4 is 8, correct answer. What is the variance of this? It's the variance of x1. What is the variance of xi's? npq, 8 over 3. 8 over 3, 8 over 3 plus 2 times the covariance. Covariance of x1 comma x2 minus n, probability of the p x1, probability of the x2 minus 4 over 3. So it will be 8 over 3 will be cancelled out. It's a 8 over 3, correct answer. Covariance x1 and x2 is minus 4 over 3, but it's a 5 over 3 is the wrong answer. I can apply the variance of x1, 4 times variance of x2 plus 4 times the covariance of x1 comma x2. It's a 8 over 3, it's a 32 over 3, it's minus 16 over 3. So it will be the 3 is the LCM, 8 plus 32 minus 16. So 24 over 3 is the 8 is my correct answer. So A, B and D are my correct answers. Look at this another one. They are uncorrelated to each other, means the covariance of xi's and xj are 0 whenever I is not equal to j. Then which of the following statements are true? Variance covariance matrix between y1, y2, y3, y1, y2, y3, and your target is to find the sum of the eigens value. We all know sum of the eigenvalue is nothing but trace of the matrix. So it means I need to find only the diagonal values. So what is the diagonal? y1, y1, variance of the y1. So can you find the variance of y1 from here? Because they are uncorrelated, so it will be 4 times variance of x1 sigma square, 4 times plus sigma square plus sigma square. So this value is my 6 sigma square. Can you find the variance of this? It is my sigma square, 4 times sigma square, 4 times plus sigma square, because they are uncorrelated, so covariance each of them are 0. Similarly for is 1, 1 and 4 is a 6 sigma square. So what is the trace? Trace is my 18 sigma square. So yes, this is the correct statement. So neither is the correct statement, only Q is my wrong answer. Covariance, correlation between y1 and y2. That means your target is to find these numbers. Very simple. I can substitute the value of this x2 plus x3 comma x1 2x2 plus x3. So what is that? If I open this first pair into this, 2 times variance of x1 square x1 into x2, because they are uncorrelated, so it's a 0. x1 x3 is 0. Similarly x2 and x2 will be 2 sigma square, x2 and x3 0, and x3 and x3 will be here, it is 5 sigma square. So this value is my 5 sigma square, and they are equal between y2 and y3, that means this value. Fine. So covariance between y2 and y3 I can use C from here, y2 y3. So clearly say when x1 will be here, only x1, so that means this value will be my sigma square, x2 2 sigma square, x3 2 sigma square, that's 5 sigma square, and you can see both are my same pair. So yes, this is also the correct answer. So C is my right answer of this problem. So you can see within a very simple way you can solve all these correlation and the covariance problems. I will see the next lecture on the maximum likelihood estimator. Till then you can simply like, share and comment on my videos. Best of luck students. Happy learning.